Hello, beautifuls. I am hoping you all have had a good week. Um, it was kind of a crazy week, right? Now that I'm thinking about it, it was kind of a crazy week, right? Everybody was going live, beefing, and y'all, I really for real don't want to be no. I don't want no parts of it. Like I'm, like moving forward in 2024. I don't want no parts of it. Like after I, this video is to the mothers of daughters who have sons. Um, and then I made a video for the mother of sons that is, just a disclaimer. These are just disclaimers before I open up my Patreon space and then my Discord space to ladies that's coming into the space, right? So these are just like disclaimers. So after I cuss out the mother of sons next week, and y'all just excuse me, I'm all right. Let me just finish this, and I'll go back to what I'm gonna say. So after I cuss out the mother thuns next week, like I'm not gonna keep on going back and forth with these women like this. Like this getting crazy. Seeing black women and their beefs like just play out in real time, and I guess no, it's not. This one is nasty and dirty. Like it's nasty and it's dirty, and I don't really like it. I'm gonna be honest. This beef that has happened over the past week, like I don't really like it. And I just don't want no more parts of it. Like publicly beefing with black women on the internet. Like count me out. Preem is out. Count me out. I'm not doing it no more. I don't give a so that we know. I'm not responding to any other woman who says anything else about me. Like in private spaces, when y'all in private spaces and you just bust out, oh, Prima Snake, dumb shit like that. Like I'm not replying no more. No more. That the video I make next week is the last reply I'm making. Like, and that's always, for me it's always mother of thons. That's always, doing these things, I don't really have no beef with black women over their content. Really. Like black women can make whatever kind of content they want. What I'll say is, black women have to know how to get up from the table when love is no longer being served, and I mean that shit. And for me, even as a woman who watches some of the content, like when it get too nasty for me, when it go too fucking low, that's when I usually exit. That's when I usually exit to those black women who, Patreons I have been in, because I'll support a black woman. Like, if you happen to see me in some spaces and then I was gone, I felt like it was no longer a loving environment anymore, and I had to go. And that's my advice to any black woman. Like, if it stops feeling like it's loving there, like, just go. Like, you don't gotta burn the whole shit down on your way out. Just go. Yeah. So yeah, it was a rough. It's been a crazy week on YouTube, right? The end. I'm not even gonna get into it. The end. It's been a crazy week. Besides that, I think that I'll touch on Keke Palmer right quick, because that thing is trending everywhere. And I did see the actual still shots of Keke Palmer being physically abused by her. My sister just now gave me a good. Was it? Hold on. Let me get to how I say it right, because it's a word backwards. Regin. She was getting abused by her baby daddy Regin, and physical abuse to me, in my experiences with black males, physical abuse is the most common, and to be honest, and this is just for me, and I don't want to minimize anyone else's experience, but that was the easiest of the abuse that black males had inflicted on me. Being physically abused was the easiest. And as Keke Palmer is, publicly sharing that she had been physically abused, my thought is, of course, how much emotional abuse has she been enduring. And the fact that she has a son, it speaks to me, to me, it speaks to how much emotional abuse he had been inflicting on her to make her feel so low that she could fucking create a fucking spawn that is a black male child. Which is truly heartbreaking, to know that it was a black woman that was going through this, and that, and then on top of that, he was also physically abusing her. Like, the destruction of black women, from black males is just, it's like a a blanket of abuse. Like, it doesn't just come in physical abuse. It comes in emotional abuse. It comes in probably financial abuse, because, you know, of course, she's the one who's making all the money. Like, I believe that Keke Palmer was really getting her ass whipped in every single kind of way. And that was how she was, you know, that's why she had a son. And then, sadly, having a son for a black male in this time is just, in this late hour, creating our, like, letting one of them spill from your womb and having a connection to it, it's kind of like, it is literally like choosing a living death, to me. And what I will say is that I wish that Keke would have left the spawn of Satan with Satan himself, and that was like, she should have left that little boy with his fucking father, so that she can really make a clean getaway, and that's all I'll say on that. So anyhow, this message is to the mothers of daughters who have sons, and I touched on Keke because of that, right? Because I wanted to speak to those black women who I believe are of this pristine bloodline of black women, who have happened to have sons. And, like, now, like, now what, right? Now what, right? What I'll say is what I've said several times. I'll say how I believe that these spawns are getting here. And maybe I'll be more careful about what I say now, because I don't think I said anything that was too bad yet. But I will say I'll share how I think they get here. And what I believe is that they are created in hate. Right? Whether it be the hate of self, right, which is self-hating and self-loathing, or the hate of other black women, like, something in us when we create them is created in hate. And it's like, you either hate yourself and you create something that will cause your self-harm, or you create something because you hate black women, you create something that's going to cause black women harm. And I think that's how they're getting here. And I think that's how every single one of them is getting here. Like, really, like, my own brother, that's how he got here. Every single one of them get here in that way. My nephew, like, all the black males that you hear black women say, oh, Preem loves the black male. Like, every single one of them, they got here the same way, right? My mother's own self-loathing. She was in a physically abusive relationship with my father. And that creates some self-loathing in a woman that has her then create a fucking thon. And then the same thing for my nephew's mother. She was in a relationship with my brother. I'm sorry. She was in a relationship with my brother, and he was verbally abusive. She does not live high up on the hierarchy of attractiveness in Blackistan. And his abuse to her most likely presented, you know, this self-loathing that black women live in. And when you're existing in that kind of self-loathing and that kind of hate for yourself as a black woman, and you happen to get pregnant, like, your defenses are down. Your defenses are down, and as a result, you create them. Um, your defenses that are self-loving, that will, kind of eradicate, in my opinion, right? That will kind of eradicate, that dirty why, it doesn't happen because your defenses are low. And then you end up with, a son. And then, as a black woman who may have been self-loathing in the moment, right? It was not intentional, like the mother of thons. They're creating them is literally coming from a hate for black women. Like, their intention is to create them to destroy us. And unlike those women, mothers of daughters who have sons are creating them. Most likely, we're creating them out of self-loathing or lower self-esteem or even self-hate, which is a feeling that I don't think that many black women have lived outside of having low self-esteem or having a moment of self-loathing or even feeling some hate about our own selves. That's, this society creates that in us, right? So I don't think that any black woman is really exempt of those feelings in a moment. And in that moment, had we gotten pregnant, like, we could have had a fucking son. Right? That's what I believe. So when women go on to say, oh, I think I'm special because I had a daughter. Well, I mean, I'll argue that I am, but I'll also acknowledge the fact that the same feelings that any mother of daughters who had sons that felt any kind of self-loathing or any kind of self-hate or any kind of feelings of low self-esteem, I have been there, especially when we're talking about low self-esteem. There have been times in my life when I have been in abusive relationships, verbally abusive relationships, day in and day out, of hearing horrible, things about myself. And that's how these males lower your self-esteem. Like, it doesn't really matter. I don't know, it was some psychologist or whatever. And what he said about women who are in abusive relationships, what he said was, the reinforcement of she's low, like the reinforcement of she's ugly, she's fat, she's unworthy, she's unintelligent, she's ghetto, she's trash. Like, the reinforcement of that will never overpower the one every now and again, you're beautiful, that she might get from her friends or her family or someone outside of the constant abuse that she's getting from the abuser. Right? So you're hearing this, which is why black women, you need to stay your asses out of the manosphere and just like that low vibrating shit that they do. Because the constant hearing of you're not worthy, you're hearing it 6 and 7 and 8 times a day. And then you might happen to, hear you are beautiful and you are worthy once, right? It creates something in our subconscious mind that has us believe it. Like, I know that black women don't want to admit that it's something in us. When we talk to black women and black women, we as a collective, we pretend like we're all self-loving and we all don't struggle with the feelings of not feeling worthy that women in general feel, especially in this time. Us lying about that is just a lie. like it's just a lie, right? If we're constantly hearing and we're constantly being berated and we're constantly being abused verbally, at some level it begins to sink in. And then when it does sink in and we end up getting pregnant, usually that low self-esteem or that self-loathing or that self-hate, it usually shows up in a male child. Right? And I don't want to, when it's black women that's listening to my content, when it's black women and here's my mother of Thuns theory, and let's just say, a mother of Thuns, like, a black woman with a son just, created these damn sons just to destroy us. It is not always that way, right? Mother Thuns absolutely do create their sons to destroy us, right? That is their intent. But mothers of daughters who happen to have sons, although I do believe that the sons are still created in hate, I don't believe that the intent was the same. I don't believe that the intent was the same, and I believe that I believe that mothers of daughters who have sons, I believe that they recognize at some level, like, wow, I created something that is, first of all, harmful to me, harmful to my image, harmful to the collective of black women. And and that's a hard thing to admit, but that's what happened. That is what happened. And I don't want black women coming over into my space, to think that it's a shunning of you for being caught slipping. For being caught slipping, because that's what happened. For being caught slipping. And for those of us who have grown children, right? Grown children, your son is grown. I think that you have to sit on the fact that the return on investment was low. That the return on the investment in raising a black male child was very, very low. One of the things that someone in my clubhouse, well, we all get it, but in this particular room, we was talking about how the investment, like the investment that you invest in these children are low. And I'm talking about male children. I'm sorry, the investment is high, but the return is low. And, not that your children have to give you back something for raising them, right? But to completely kill you is unnecessary. It's unnecessary. And what these males end up doing in some kind of way, they end up unaliving their mothers. And it does not have to be a physical unaliving, right? It could be the fact that you have invested all of your life, your tears, trying to get your sons to be well, and they still end up being ain't shit. Right? Like, all of the work that you have done, they still end up being ain't shit. You didn't put them in private schools, especially those of, I've talked to black women who had it. Like, I sent this little nigga to the private schools. Literally, I made sure that he didn't do no nigga shit. Like, he was not able to play no basketball. I had his ass in lacrosse and baseball. Okay? So he wasn't able to play no basketball, no football. I did not allow him to listen to hip hop. I sent him to musical classes in which he played the violin, right? I just kept my son away from all the nigga shit, and still he ended up being ain't shit. And it just goes to prove, like, it's really not much that we can do to have these males turn out well. And then even for the black women who have sons who do turn out well, because, you invested everything into your son, and he kills, the way that he, unalives you is by choosing a non-black woman to procreate with and to marry. He's all of your investment in him, and him being able to stand up on his own 2 feet in this patriarchal society, right? In this patriarchal society, which is rare for a black man to be able, or black male to be able to stand up on his own 2 feet. But here you are, sis, you did it. Sis, you got it done. You created a son who stands up on his own 2 feet in a patriarchal society, and what he chooses to do is he chooses to have, to choose someone who's not of your likeness to procreate with and to have children with. And essentially he is unaliving you. He's unaliving your work. He's unaliving your DNA. he is killing the he's killing you via not allowing you to be replicated in your own grandchildren. And I think that if we set as black women who have, divine black women, mothers of daughters who have sons, I think that if we were able to just sit in that, then our advice would be the same thing to any young black woman as my advice is. Like, don't do it, sis. Don't make that investment. Don't make that investment in a black male child. Like, it's just no return on it. So when I say that a black woman has done all that, really, she's done all that by age 7, 8, like, really, she's done all she can do for her son. Anything else is in vain. Okay, anything else that you're gonna do for your son, after the age of 7 is really just gonna be in vain. After that, Blackistan your son now belongs to Blackistan. He belongs to the Black Male Collective. About 8 years old, baby. It's a wrap. So if you have invested up until 7, you have, nourished him. You've been a nourishing mother. You've been kind and you've been loving and you have raised him up into the age of 7. Sis, I feel like that's enough. I feel like that's enough. You done breastfed him. You didn't let him live off of your teats. Okay? Now they hanging. Okay? Now they saying, you have gave him the knowledge necessary to I think that, like, by age 7, I think that's when your personality is, like, developed, by age 7, right? So you have given him all the things to make sure that he is kind and considerate and loving, being on planet Earth. And you can turn him over now. You can turn him over to the Black Male Collective. It's completely and totally okay. And I think that black women who have sons who are grown, right, who's actually mothered sons until adulthood, and now we're watching, now you're watching your sons hate you. I think that, in being honest, you can tell a black woman, like, yeah, about 7, about 7 years old, I say 7 to 9 years old, you need to turn him over to the proper delegation of rearing, and that is in black males or males, period. Like, if the nigga don't want his baby, like, white zaddy will take him. You know what I'm saying? That's the part of a patriarchy. All right, you're responsible for the fucking males. Okay, so I think that when we do that, it does not matter at that point. Like, once a male child turns 7 to 9 years old, like, at that point, and your rearing and your mothering, like, anything beyond that is not only in vain, but it becomes he resents you for it. And we see that happen when we're all over the internet. Like, every one of these niggas that we see with our own 2 eyes on the internet trashing black women, I can't reiterate this enough. They are the sons of black women. Those are black women's sons. Every single time you hear this, like, this is a black woman's son saying this. Right? One that she invested her whole fucking life into. One that she was abandoned with raising. And instead of this nigga thinking to himself, my mother made sure that I ate. Made sure that I ate until I was 18, 19, 20. Like, these niggas who live with their mother till they fucking 30. Made sure that I ate until I was 30 years old, put a roof over my head, was loving. Look, okay, let's just say the niggas telling the truth. Like, we're not loving mothers, right? Which we can't believe, because our daughters are turning out just fine. Like, it's a black woman right here listening to me right now who has a daughter and a son, and her daughter turned out just fine. Is loving, calls her every Sunday, lets her know that she loves and appreciates her. And she not only did you not mother the daughter anymore, you actually invested more into the fucking son. Yet and still, this nigga is just totally throwing you to the side as his mother, right? But let's just say, for argument's sake, that black women are not loving mothers. Let's just, okay, that's what the nigga say. Even if you weren't, even if you didn't give hugs and kisses and was not overly affectionate, like, even if that did not happen, you fed his ass, you clothed his ass, you made sure that he went to school up until the fucking age of fucking, you know, what, 25, the sons leave the home, like, I don't know. Right? You have done all of that, and he's still ungrateful, and he's still harsh to your image, and he's still cruel to you as a woman. And I think that it'd be best that mothers of daughters who have sons just be honest with young black women who have sons. Like, make this thing easier. There is a woman right now, and if you come over here, love, so much love to you, sis. I hope that you make the decision that is best for you. It's a 20-something-year-old woman, or maybe early 30s. She's younger than me. I can clearly see in her pictures that she's younger than me. Oh my goodness, absolutely beautiful woman too. Going through it right now as we speak, and not wanting to raise her children. Like, she wants to give her children to their father. And she's really posting about how women, I'm sorry, people, but I know that it's women, are basically, you know, shaming her for choosing herself. And I think that is fucked up. Because black women know that it's really no return on investment with these fucking sons. Like, let us just be honest. Like, you can invest in a daughter, and you can give your daughter all you got. Trust me, I did, right? You can give your daughter all you got, and at the end of your core mothering journey, you could feel spent. I have felt like I have given my daughter everything that I could have, every part of me, like, she just sucked me fucking dry. I do feel like that. Like, so for the record, like, I feel like that in mothering, right? But my daughter is loving. She's kind. She's a considerate human being. She's a divine being on this planet. Like, she just lights up rooms, and she's just beautiful, and she's graceful, and she's intelligent and brilliant. And today, as we speak, she got her confirmation letter that she's going to into the program of study that she wants to go into. And it's just like, even though I feel like she sucked me dry, and the titties that I had to breastfeed her with at 14 never got a chance to even sit up. And never got a chance to even sit up right. Okay? I feel some return on this investment. So when I'm feeling in the ways that a mother feels when she's giving her all to her child, I get some return on that investment when she calls me, and she's loving, and she's considerate, and she makes her accomplishments in life, and she calls me, and as I congratulate her, she offers me a thank you, Ma, for giving a fuck, right? There's some return on the investment that makes this not feel so soul draining. But in having a son, I don't think that is happening for black women. Even for mothers of daughters who have sons, like, even we are not getting, like, the mother-thons, actually, the mother-thons kind of getting a better deal. The mother-thons and their sons, they getting a better deal because they raise terrorists, and their sons actually become terrorists. Right? She's raised the fucking terrorists, right? She has admonished black women's image. She said that black women wasn't shit in front of her son. She, made these images, said to her son that he wasn't gonna be with no fast ass little girls. Like, she raised the fucking terrorist, and she ended up with the terrorist. So for her, she cool. She got just what the fuck she put in. You, on the other hand, as a mother of daughters who has a son, you did not try to raise a fucking terrorist. That was not your intention. That was not your intention in raising this fucking son. That you did not expect your son to grow up to turn out how he did. the return on investment is just not what is not giving what it was supposed to give. What it was supposed to give. And as you ladies come into my Discord and you know, I'd like you to come in honest. I'd like you to come in vulnerable, right? We're not sharing our real names and our real fucking dirty ass sons' names, you know? I'm not telling y'all my fucking evil ass fucking mean ass fucking vicious ass little fucking 14-year-old nephew's name. You know, I'm just letting y'all know that he fucking vicious already, and he only 14 years old. He only 14 years old. I lied to you not. Just last weekend, he called me and his mother called me and he needed a ride home from his homecoming dance. Oh, what I meant to say earlier was that I have allergies. I don't know where the fuck they coming from, but it's real bad. And my, and the second I'm going to say, yeah, the second trimester of my life, coming into these 30s, you know, God is willing, I live to 90 in good health and good physical and mental health. You know, in this second trimester, baby, I don't know where the fuck these allergies coming from. I have no idea what the fuck going on. But I do plan to go to my doctor and find out, get some allergy tests, because I've sneezed all the time. My nose is doing some shit that I don't know what the fuck. And I've always had sinus issues, but not allergies. Like, this is irritating as fuck. And then I told you ladies, like last weekend, I had a natural allergic reaction that was fucking horrible. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. I did do a little bit of WebMD, and I found out that yes, you can get allergies later. And precisely in your 30s. So here they are. They're here. I'm allergic, and I hope that I'm not allergic to my cats, because then who am I because who am I gonna grow old with? If it's my cats that's causing these allergies, like my nose running, my eyes running, all the sneezing, like what the fuck I'm supposed to do now? Now these niggas done said I done hit the wall at 23. I've been at the wall for a very long time. I done hit the wall at 23, and all I'm gonna do is die with my cats, and now I can't even have the cats. Something's got to give, Doc. Something's got to give, Doc. But yeah, I'm having allergies, y'all, so excuse my sneezing, like all of the mucusy sounds that's going on, like it's a shit show over here. But anyhow, my nephew, my little fucking nephew, so his mother calls me and she's like, you got $20 because I'm about to go to sleep and he going to homecoming and I ain't got no way to get him home. And I'm like, oh, well, just have him call me and I'll send him a Uber or a Lyft. And he in the back seat, and she says this to him, and he turns the music up, like just rude and nasty for no reason. And he turns the music up, and she's like, well, say hi to your aunt, and make sure that you call her. And he turns, he doesn't even want to say hi. Y'all, I lied to you not. I loved my nephew. Like, up like I still care for I still love my nephew. But when I tell y'all that was Auntie's baby, like it up until maybe like the age of up until about 7, 8, that was Auntie's baby. Like you could not get him from up underneath of me. Like you just couldn't do it. If something went wrong at home and he got mad at his mother, who he now thinks is ugly, right? If he got mad with her and he would call me and say, Auntie, can you come and get me? And I'm telling you, I would be in my car so fast going to go get his ass. She would call me, come and get your nephew, and I would go get my nephew. Girl, you ain't got to tell me come and get my nephew. You don't got to play with him like that, right? When I tell y'all that this was Auntie's baby, okay? And now he's turning in right before my fucking eyes. He's turning into a fucking demon right before my very eyes. Right. So when we're in my private space and I'm talking about, my little hateful ass nephew, like I'm not gonna be saying his name, right? I'm not gonna be, sharing pictures of him. I'm not gonna be, we not gonna be casting casting on my nephew. Like, when you come into my Discord, like, some level of vulnerability is expected, but it's not like, we're gonna try to burn your sons at the stake. Okay? It's not like we gonna try to burn your sons at the stake, okay? And we don't really want to beef over your sons. Like, I've made up my decision. I already know black women ain't raising no good sons. Like, I know. Like, don't come over here if you're a mother of daughters with the son. Like, I think you already know. Like, no black women are raising no good sons. That's the shit that the mother of thuns try to do. Like, the mother of thuns try to tell us that she raising good sons, and it's us. It's the mothers of daughters that's raising the bad sons. Like, no. Like, no. None of us are raising good sons. There's not been a good son. As I've said several times. Let me tell you something. Martin Luther King mother did not raise a good son. Do you understand? Martin Luther King mother, her own self, Martin Luther King mother herself did not raise a good son. Okay? She raised a sexually degenerate, abusive, violent motherfucker to a black woman. And if you think that you're gonna raise a son better than she did, I like to see it. I like to see it. So that we can get clear on what I think about black women's sons. I think that Martin Luther King mother herself got it wrong. So that we clear, like, I think that all black women are getting it wrong. And raising sons, like, when I hear these niggas say that black women can't raise sons, I don't object. I don't object. 100%. We cannot raise sons. Let us all raise them to the age of 7, 8, 9, and y'all can handle it from there. God damn, what more y'all want from us? We done kissed all his boo-boos. We done taught his little ass how to walk. Okay? We done breastfed him. Alright? We done taught his little ass how to read. Because most of them can't even read. Like, what more do y'all want from us? You're right. Y'all, we cannot raise sons. We agree. Over here, mothers or daughters, we agree. We cannot raise sons. We're not trying to prove that to nobody. We're not trying to prove that to nobody. We're not trying to be the black woman who raises a good fucking son. We agree that black women cannot raise good sons. And as a result, those of us who have raised grown sons, we admit that our sons are, the return on investment was low. The return on investment was low. And to those of us who have small sons, like, we got them up to about 7, 8. 9 is the cutoff point. Because at 10, they start blowing our fucking heads off. At 10 years old, for VR chat, they will blow your fucking head off. So, I used to say 11. If you've been here a while, I used to say 11. I used to say black women raise your sons about 11, 12. The black dot, sets in, is what I called it. Is what I call it. The black dots in your sons, they start setting in about 11, 12. I was wrong. And when I'm wrong, unlike other black women, around here, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I can admit it. Y'all. I was wrong. I thought that black women's sons, like, the black dot started setting in at 11 and 12. I was wrong, sis. His little ass will blow your fucking head off at 10 years old for a fucking VR chat. Sis, for your own safety. For your own safety and ours. If you're gonna come over in my Discord, there are very, very strict rules about your sons. Like, they cannot listen in, of course, on our monthly phone calls. And, like, don't let them hear my voice at all. Don't let them hear my voice at all. They're not gonna like it. Don't let them hear my videos at all. You shouldn't even be playing you should not be playing no black woman's YouTube channel around your fucking sons. Like, that's wild. That's a wild thing to do. right? But anyhow, you know, your son's at about 7, 8, 9. We gonna give him to 9. So you should understand that you've done all that you can do as a mother for your son by age 9. Like you like you really have. You've given it your best shot, and anything from there, just turn them over to their fathers. Your brothers say you can't raise sons. All your cousins in your family, they all say you cannot raise. She don't know what she doing with that little boy. You right. I don't know. I have no fucking idea what the fuck I'm doing. So because I don't, here you go, right here. Let us get the child support. Let us get the child support payments going. Let us agree on whatever you need from me financially, so that you could take this, your cousin, your nephew, your son, because I'm fucking it up, and it's no harm in that. It's absolutely no harm in that. And I think that's all I got. I really just wanted to make this video for mothers of daughters who have sons, so that we could get a clear understanding on where I stood with the fact that, where I stood when I say, because it's been misconstrued everywhere, that, Preem says that black women who have sons are just like, it's no redemption for having a son. No, I never said that. What I said was it is 2 different bloodlines, and of the bloodlines, everybody can have daughters and sons, okay? Of the 2 bloodlines, we are both birthing daughters and sons. But the difference here lies in the fact that mothers of daughters are not lying. We're not gaslighting black women about, oh, we raise good sons and y'all don't. No. I invested everything I got into this nigga, and he still turned out not what I needed him to be. Okay? I raised 2 fucking children in my household, or 3 or 4, and my daughters turned out totally different than my son. People say that about me and my brother all the time. All the time. People cannot believe that me and my brother have the same mother and father. That's how vastly different we are. We grew up with the same mother. The same mother. We grew up with the same mother. And not only did we grow up with the same mother, but she favored her son. My mother was not harsh to me. But, mothers got favorite children. Y'all know. And my mother's favorite was her fucking dirty ass son, my brother. And he turned out totally different than me. And everybody knows it, to the point where they're like, y'all really got the same mother and father? Yes, we do. The same mother and father. And this is how this nigga turned out. And this is how this nigga turned out. So, anyhow, I just wanted to make that video so that we are clear on my stance on mothers of daughters who have sons. So that we are clear that I'm not condemning you for having a son, right? I don't think that you're a horrible person because you had a son. I really do think that, you're a black woman that got caught slipping. If I'd have got my last relationship, this nigga was so verbally abusive, y'all. I didn't know if I was going or coming. I didn't know if I was going to come in. This was a relationship that I was in from 2000, I want to say 2017 to like 2019. He was an educated lame. I'm gonna make the video because nobody gonna tell the truth, but I am. I'm gonna tell the truth because those of us black women who grew up in the hood, who dated the thugs, and then we also, because these niggas told us to choose better, so then we started dating the educated lames. Like, I'm gonna be the one to tell y'all the truth, that the thugs were better than the educated lames. Like, in the next year, in some of my content, like, I'm gonna be the one to make the video that says that the thugs were better than the educated lames. Like, the real life street niggas. Like, I don't mean like you know how the educated lames be saying that all the niggas is thugs. No, like the real life street niggas, the drug dealers, the robbers, the possible killers was for real better than the educated lames. Like, I'm not even making this shit up. Like, legit. In my dating experience, like, those fucking educated lame niggas were, their ability to be emotionally manipulative and abusive was fucking crazy to me. When I tell you I didn't know if I was going or fucking coming, I had never been so grateful for my Marina in my life than when I was dealing with this nigga. Emotionally abusive as shit. Had I gotten pregnant by him, I'm 100% sure that I would have had a son. I'm 100% sure that I would have had a fucking son. So I'm not saying that, oh, we could not have had sons. No, we've had sons. We could have had sons. And those are, some of us had sons. Some of us have sons. Some of us have been so emotionally abused, so downtrodden in the black community, that absolutely we existed in a state of self-loathing, low self-esteem, self-hate, whatever it is that creates a fucking male child in black women. Wherever they are, wherever these fucking demons are using to lower our defenses and ensure that we have daughters. Right? Whatever they're using to lower our defenses could have happened to any of us. I've just been blessed enough that it did not happen to me. But for those of us that it did happen to, the difference lies in the fact that no one over here who has a son is gonna shame black women about their fucking sons. Like, what? All these niggas turn out the same. What? Nobody is raised a better. No one is raising a good black son. At best, you raise a better one than the next black woman. At best, your son decides to unalive you by going over to Marie and them and forgetting all about you. Like, that's the light work. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can be grateful for that. I even hear black women who I believe are mothers of daughters who have sons. I literally heard them say out of their mouth, and I used to feel a way about it. Like, when I used to hear a black woman say that her son, and the tone is even different. When I hear a black woman say, "Oh, my son only gonna date, Puerto Ricans," it's a black woman that says that, and she's a mother of sons, and it's fuck her. So the fuck what, girl? Y'all sons can't even read. Y'all sons cannot even read. Like, what the fuck do you think that our daughters are missing? What you thought be for her bad, what you intended for her evil is for her good. Great. Let your fucking dirty ass sons go over there and fuck up the Latinas and ruin their fucking life like my nephew did. Right? So that's happening on one end, but then I thought I heard a mother of daughters who had sons say that her sons, and she said it. I don't know how she said it. I don't know how I should have took it. But she said that her sons was going to, have, not date, she didn't want her sons to date black women, but she also does black women's work in which she's calling black women goddesses. So then I thought, well, maybe this bitch maybe she know that her sons are just not good enough for us. maybe she knows, like, maybe in her work, like, maybe, maybe she understands that black women should not be tainted and should not be dirtied up and soiled by her dirty ass sons. Y'all, black women who have sons and who are not mothers of daughters, like, they tricky. They be tricky to me. Like, when it's a black woman who has, a black mother of daughters who has a son, like, she's usually Like I really can see her logic. Like I really can see her logic. But these weirdos that be having sons, like these some dangerous ass women. Like I'm telling you, like these are some dangerous ass women. Anyhow, y'all, that's all I got. You can leave comments. I just wanted to make this video as another disclaimer for mothers of daughters who have sons who thought, like, should I be going over Impreem's private space, because she don't really be fucking with black women that have sons, and I don't. You're right, sis, I don't. But when it comes to us who have sons, I do. And I want to create also a soft landing for us, because it's one thing as a black woman who is just realizing all of these things and knocked on our asses by it. And it's a whole nother thing to be knocked on your ass by it and actually have a son. Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Now what? So I think that we figure out now what together. Right? I think that we talk about it and we discuss it together. I think that having a safe space as a black woman who has a son to be able to say the things that you experience as a woman who, who see the black male collective as it is, and also is responsible for one of them at least up until 9, if you even want to make that commitment for real. But I think that we need a space amongst ourselves as mothers of daughters, those of us even who have sons, and especially those of us who have grown sons, so that you can offer your testimony to the space. So with that being said, ladies, I really hope that you enjoy your weekend. It is let me think for a second when I'm gonna post this video. It is Sunday. I'm recorded on Friday. But anyhow, I'm going to share it on Sunday. And I really hope that you ladies enjoyed your weekend. And, I guess it's time to get ready for the work week. I'm so excited for the upcoming week. Y'all have no idea how excited I am for the upcoming week. And it's not because it's Thanksgiving the following week. Although I do like Thanksgiving, and people, my daughter is just, jokes about the little fat girl and me coming out at Thanksgiving. It's very comical to her. But yeah. I do like Thanksgiving. I do like things. Actually, I like all holidays, really, to be honest. I remember when I was quick story, when I was pro-black, y'all, I was so happy to free myself of being pro-black, because a part of being pro-black was that you could not celebrate the white man holidays. Y'all, I was so happy to throw that shit in the trash. I had missed the 4th of July. I had missed the 4th of July. I had missed Thanksgiving. Damn it. I surely missed Christmas, right? But yeah, I was so happy to get rid of that. It's even like literally the 4th of July, like July in Baltimore, I wanted to have a cookout, okay? And that was I can't celebrate the holidays how I want to this year, especially not Christmas, which Christmas is always like half-assed for me, but it has been half-assed for me. Really, it's been half-assed since my mother passed away. But next year, though, I'm gonna for real celebrate Christmas. Not this year, but I just don't have the time, and I don't really have the finances to really celebrate Christmas how I want to, and I don't really have the space in which I want to celebrate it. But next year, y'all, I'm gonna really for real celebrate Christmas. I don't know why I'm sharing this, but yeah, in case anybody wanted to know what the holidays was bringing. But yeah, that's it. I plan to go away for Thanksgiving. So yeah, the rest of November is gonna be good for me. I plan Putin is gonna meet me and where we're going away to, and I'll probably share like the details later. But yeah, we're supposed to go away, and she's supposed to fly out and meet me where we're supposed to go away at, and we're just gonna spend Thanksgiving together, and then she'll be back off to school. But anyhow, ladies, that's it. I'm for real. I'm gone now. Love y'all.